So, the Minister of Power, that's here in Nigeria, Honorable Minister Adelabu, has tendered his resignation effective April the 30th of this year. And he essentially says he wants to focus on the Oyo gubernatorial race. And this, of course, was stated in a letter to President Tinubu. And here it says, my decision to step down is informed by my intention to focus fully on my gubernatorial ambition in Oyo State. This aspiration dates back to 2016. He was Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, and he actually resigned there to run back in 2018. So he listed some achievements, he listed some challenges, he listed some suggestions. Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu is with us. Not only to discuss that, but also discuss some updates in the aviation sector with respect to the presidency trying to, make things easier for players in the sector who are impacted by jet fuel hikes in its costs. Good morning, sir. You're welcome.
Hi, sorry today.
Thanks for joining us. Good to have you. So, electricity.
Power Minister.
Yes, Power Minister.
I wish that I had more time to pull back my comment when the list of ministers in 2003 was brought out.
Yeah.
I analyzed the list holistically. And I told you that the baskets, the pockets of, I can put the groups in different places.
Yeah.
And let me just accelerate because we don't have so much time. I said someone like Matawele, who was made a defense minister then, that he was a one-term governor in Zamfara State. And his preoccupation throughout this ministerial tenure would be how to win back the governorship in Zamfara State. And that means also that his focus a lot will be the politics of Zamfara State and without focusing on what is happening in his Minister of State for Defense. Yeah. But I said that where things work very well, he should dedicate his time doing his Minister of Work very well, Defense very well, to actually go back and become governor. On this kind that Mr. Adelabu that just resigned, I especially put a picture on him. And I said that his own is an easy one. That the power has been an intractable problem in Nigeria. That he has contended for governorship in two times, 2019 and 2023, and he lost. That I know his life ambition is to be the governor of Oyo State. But they're giving minister position now of a very sensitive, very important, indeed the most important ministry for Nigeria, which is power. Simple. Go to the federal level, solve the problem of power, and go back to Molete, go back to Bodija, go back to Ibadan, go back to Yotown, go back to Dubai, and go back to Iwo Road and in Oyo State and tell the people, look at me, I've done it for a federal level. Yeah. And in your homecoming like now, he's going to go home. If he's got soft power right, the whole citizens would have been there receiving him and say, we want you for governor. What he did at the federal level, come and do for us at the state level because you're a performer. Yeah. That's what would have happened. But you see, Nigerian politics is not like that. You do recall that during the last Senate president election, if you remember, in this our studio, a former two-term governor of one of the states in the north was contending for Senate presidency. And our reporters asked him, sir, how you're contending for Senate presidency, how, go back on your 8 years and tell us why you're qualified to be the Senate president. And he, on air, he was very, angry, combative, and said, what has his tenure as governor for, got to do with his contending for, because Nigeria lacks the issue of accountability. The existing minister has said power generation rose to 6,000 megawatts.
It's an achievement,
Implementation of the Electricity Act 2023.
Has an achievement.
Decentralization, improved transmission and metering programs. Revenue sector grew from 1 trillion to 2.3 trillion. Debt restructuring about 4 trillion. Who that one help? Who that one help? Okay? All this, how has it, Rotus, helped the market woman, in Bodija? Yeah. Who uses the apartment management generator, the shops, the small businesses, and everybody there. How? We've been hearing about this 600 megawatts for a long time. Now he has also dropped it as his achievement. So, okay, well done on policy level. But the
impact,
consumer level, the impact level, what have you achieved? Nothing.
He gave a 2-week deadline after the grid collapse. Things were going, and we never heard that anything.
I'm please. This is not politics.
Yeah, of course.
I just want to say that on the basis of all this thing, don't well on policies, as you said. But on what matters to the citizens of the country, which is power, their life has not changed in any way. Indeed, it's gotten worse for the citizens of the country.
Yeah.
So for me, on that basis, he's not a performer.
Yeah.
And so what is he going to go to carry back now to his state to say, fantastic technocrat, CV Rich, former deputy governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, now minister, first class accounting graduate, and everything. So on paper is that, but the issue is the doing. And the other thing was also that he lacked some emotional intelligence in doing this job sometimes. Remember a lot of times, he said, talked about the fact that Nigerians use a lot of power. We should be putting off things. That's why that's the problem. Talked about the fact that, the power, how do Nigerians expect to have cheap power? This is when Nigerians, we have on that depends of naira devaluation, subsidy removal. The burden was on everybody, and then he was punching and pouring salt in the distance, So, and remember also that 1 or 2 times he went to Ibadan. He had problems at the airport with his helicopter or private jet. All to us because I knew that a lot of his focus would be going back to Ibadan regularly because of his eye on this governorship. Nigeria must learn how to hold people accountable, and your track record preceding must speak for your ambition succeeding. In this case, there's a lot to be a lot of gap. A lot of gap, and
he listed some suggestions. Just had it on the screen. They said there should be a coordinating minister for energy. I mean, all this. Look, you've analyzed all his suggestions are things you said here on the show. So
you can see. Everybody is smart.
Yeah.
I remember saying that it's on policy paper. If you can take the power reformation in Nigeria from whenever till now, it's same things that are there.
Right. Metering
everything. But the issue is what? That diligent implementation.
Well, thank you. Somebody has to be there to make sure all these things are right.
Not giving us excuses. It says
vandalism, gas shortage. You knew this when you were appointed.
No, not even that. This had been the recurring problems forever. And so I wish him well. But on the basis of using, this is the time that he should delete this minister something from his CV if he wants to contest for governor of your state. Because there's nothing. The citizens of the country don't have power.
Right.
And it's a problem for us.
Yeah.
It's a problem for us.
Thank you. Okay, we're still moving to aviation now. There's so many big issues. This jet fuel matter.
You see, aviation is one of the most important elements of the Nigerian economy, any economy, including Nigeria. Without it, a lot of the economy may come to a standstill. So it's a very important component of the economy. And what happens there, therefore, is very important, for the government anywhere to, intercede always to make sure that the airline owners and every player there somehow succeeds. Nigerian aviation, where do you analyze it from? It's those problems. And so, but what is summary of this is that arising from Nigeria specifically, already has challenges before now. Naira devaluation. One of the major things that is that every almost component that require an aviation is the dollar base. Is imported. So each time the dollar catches cold or sneezes, the airline industry catches cold. So that's the problem. Whether there's tiniest boat or not there, the A, B, C, or D checks, the fuel, So in this case, before the comings of this Iran-Iraq war, Iran-American-Israel war, aviation issues the prices were already in the roof. now it's exacerbated now by this Iran-American war, and so the prices got up there. Now, aviation fuel happens to be, and on a normal basis, about 30 to 40% of the cost of airlines. But Nigeria, due to inefficiencies and so many things, sometimes it's up to 70%.
Wow.
So it means that the business operation of Nigerian airlines is very sensitive to the price of aviation fuel. And that's a major problem. And as the prices were getting increasing, it almost becoming impossible for the airlines to operate. And that's why they cried to the federal government, to the listening minister, Mr. Kayamo, who has gone intervened and taken the case to the president. And the president said, okay, we will not go back to the days of subsidy.
Right.
However, we will try and find ways of, reducing your burden. I think on 3 platforms. First one said that they are owing, because of the cash flow problems of the airlines, they're owing NAMA, Nigerian Export Aviation Management, of flight charges, NCA, and FAN for the airport running the airports and everything. So they're owing. Any record, some records says up to 30 billion, some say 50 billion. So the federal government has said, we'll give you some substantial discount on those debts, which will increase your cash flow, release some cash flow to you. 2, also, is that we know that there are multi-federal taxes, multi-layers of taxes that airlines face. Sometimes look at your ticket when you buy it.
Yes, the taxes make up more than the fare itself.
Sometimes 56% of it is tax. So the federal government said they're finally going to look at it and make sure that, so you have tax on tax on the tickets. So they're going to look at that also. And then finally, they're going to look at the military aviation fuel sellers and see what they can do. So those are things. What is it? These are palliatives. It's like drinking Panadol when you have cancer. It does not really solve the problem. There are fundamental problems in the industry which need to be addressed, which include the fact that everything depends on dollars. How do you solve that? The taxes on a permanent basis, how do you resolve them? And then
the government needs revenue as well.
And then the airlines themselves. Notice, if you have 2 aircrafts and you have like 10, 15 aircrafts as an airline, it's almost the same base cost of operation. So the more aircrafts that you have, the more base that you can spread your fixed costs. But Nigerian Airlines, you have so many airlines, but few aircrafts. Now, some reports will tell you there are about 100, 120 aircrafts, when you add up. But available for flight every day is less than half of that. So the major issue has been capacity. And the airlines being run as proper businesses, the issues of corporate governance. So one of the things that happened in Nigeria, I'm sure you have seen lately, is success has many fathers. Is Ibom Air, owned by Akwa Ibom State government, has made some success of it. And so every state now that has an airport, some of them are building airports that can take A380. Meanwhile, they can only take one flight in 1 week. That's another misspending of resources. It's now trying to own airline. Ogun State, 2 aircraft or 3 aircraft. Gateway Airlines. Enugu have done their own. Those are very important because the industry has suffered from capacity issues, in the sense that few aircraft. In the short-term basis, a private sector person may not have enough money to go and bring aircraft, but these states can just go and bring them. So with this coming in, but the issue, which is I can leave on this side, is states have been historically, and government historically not known to run airlines. Indeed, statistics says that 80% of the state airlines, which include governments worldwide, always fail. So it's not as simple as buying the aircraft.
It's very more.
Aviation is a glamour business. So buying the aircraft is one aspect of it.
Running it
is a different one. And we hope that they will give free hand to the professionals to run the airlines.
Like you.
Yeah. not become a political something like satellite scheduled to go to Abuja.
Yeah.
Somebody cries and say, oh, my friend is stranded in Ghana. You go and pick them up. You cancel the flight to that. But we need the capacity by the states, but it can only be short-term basis.
Fantastic stuff. Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu, always a pleasure learning from you with your insights on these matters. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.